back. Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Communicate with Confidence. I'm your host, NBR, aka Mrs. Darby, and also, of course, known as Natasha B. Russell. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to share some key effective strategies to help you to boost your confidence and improve your communication skills. Because one thing I do know for sure, confidence and the ability to communicate with confidence is critical to your success. So I'm going to get my presentation ready. And wherever you may be, grab your hot chocolate. I don't know, or maybe you like green tea or coffee. Maybe here it's 6 p.m. in the evening, water and a notebook, whatever you feel comfortable in and with. Grab your notebook and come join me. All right. We'll be starting in exactly 2 minutes. And thank you. Thank you for joining me in this moment in time when you could be anywhere else. I do appreciate you. And I hope at the end of this, you can say, hey, Natasha, I got some really great insights and I'm excited. I'm excited to work on the things I've learned today, that it'll help you ultimately in achieving your goals and your dreams. So here I am today in front of you, so excited to share more about what I do and that you'll leave here knowing exactly who you are. Fearfully and wonderfully made, amazing in your own skin. There's nothing I heard a comment about feeling like I'm not proportionate. You are perfect just the way you are. What am I grateful for today? Don't apologize.
I am successful.
I am powerful.
I'm wonderfully made.
I'm not held back by the people that hurt me.
I'm a survivor.
I love you.
Do you love you? Yeah.
I just wish you could see what we all see.
So what did you think? Did you find an I am statement that you resonated with? Do you know how amazing you are in your own skin? You know what I find that I think many of us can share the same testament to this is that, especially with so much social media and just everything that's out there in the world, we're can be easily distracted. But do you know how amazing you are? Sometimes you get so busy looking at so many things on the exterior, but when was the last time you looked interior? So I want to welcome you again to Communicate with Confidence. I'm your host, NBR, and I'm excited to just chat with you. If you have questions as we move through this presentation, I invite you, put it in the comment section. I can view them and I have the ability to respond privately. So I'm assuming you should be able to send me a private question if there's something that you know if maybe you're not comfortable sharing outwardly, but I will respond to your questions in the chat. So communicate with confidence. Why did I actually create this webinar? Really, because I know for me, growing up as a child, I lacked confidence. I actually was a horrible public speaker. I did not feel good in my skin. I had no idea that I'd be where I am today, but I am. I've achieved a lot of great things professionally, personally, business wise, because of my ability to communicate with confidence. And is confidence something that you're born with? I actually don't believe so. I believe that confidence is a skill. It's something that you learn. It's like a muscle, right? The more you work it, the stronger it gets. And so I want to remind you that no matter who you are, where you are, that no matter what your education level is or skill level is, you can improve your communication skills, your confidence, because that is critical to your success. And I always say confidence, not arrogance, because I want to be super clear. I don't believe in being arrogant. I'm not a fan of anyone who thinks arrogance gets you far. I think arrogance is belittling. And actually, arrogance shows a bit of your lack of self esteem. So I'm a big advocate for confidence, to know who you, a confidence. You may have heard that term too, to know that you're good in your skin. You love who you are, and that every day you're showing up for yourself, maybe for your family, your friends as well, your colleagues, but more importantly, that you know who you are and that you know how amazing you are. So let's dig in to communicate with confidence. I want to let you know that my IG has changed since then. I should update that. I apologize. It is now NBR, aka Mrs. Darby, because I recently got married in October 2021. So welcome Facebook, welcome LinkedIn, welcome. This will be broadcasted to YouTube as well, and hopefully I can share it on my Instagram. So welcome whoever you may be from all over the world. I'm excited to tune in with you. So let's start. A little bit about my story. Who am I? Who is MBR? And MBR wasn't always, MBR. I believe I created that acronym when I started my business roughly several years ago, 2018 officially started my full-time entrepreneurship journey. But before then, here I am as a little girl with my mom. I was raised by an amazing mom. My dad was, there but not there at times, so my upbringing was definitely a lot working or growing with my mom. I did spend a lot more of my time with my dad as I got a little bit older. We were in the same city. So I was born in Calgary, Alberta. Anybody know where that is, depending on where you are, in Canada. And this has been home to me for many, many years, pretty much all my life, minus I say the 6 months that I moved to Nashville thinking I wanted to be a country star. That didn't work out, but all fun jokes aside, that was a joke. I did move to Antioch, Tennessee for about 6 months before I really started my career. And I realized I missed home. I love Calgary. I love Canada. This is where my roots were. This is where my family was. And so I came back home and I began my journey. So out of high school, let me just rewind maybe a little bit more. Me, this little photo, you probably never know. I was around 5, 6 years old. I struggled with a very rare form of epilepsy of the mouth. No one actually knew until my mom spotted it one day when my mouth would go numb. So nothing else would go numb. Very interestingly, that's what they said. It was a very rare form of epilepsy. Not my body. I didn't have seizures of that. It was just my mouth. My mouth would go numb at times. I wasn't able to speak and I was embarrassed. I think that at a very young age definitely obviously hurt my self-esteem and hurt my confidence because I was so young and I'm wondering what is happening? What's wrong with me? And I remember my cousins would see it at times. They think I was playing around because my mouth again would go numb. I'd be drooling. I couldn't talk for a few minutes and then it would go away. And I was again feeling a bit ashamed, like, what's wrong with me? But one day my mom saw that this was happening. I was having an episode and she's like, nope, something's definitely wrong with Natasha. This is what she's saying out loud, obviously. And she brought me to this specialist. I can still remember what he looks like. Really kind gentleman. And he said, you know what? They ran all these kind of tests and they determined, again, very rare form. And they put me on some really what do you call, like some, I don't even remember what they're called, but they were some prescription drugs, trial drugs. And I took them for a couple years and thank God I am delivered. I say thank you, Jesus, every day. I've never had an episode since I was about 9 years old. But what was I left with at an early age? A lot of weight gain. So that definitely too, now overcoming being, I would say health free, like, my health is now restored 100%. I'm no longer struggling with this rare form. I don't have to wear this bracelet anymore. I'm not, the bullying at school is not as bad because I'm now, feeling a little bit normal, but I didn't feel so good in my body. And so that was a struggle then, right? And so as I went throughout, junior high, something I still struggled with, but I remember, and I'll share this with you all, I had a mindset shift. Now you may say, what's a mindset shift, girl? A mindset shift is really when you've allowed yourself to look at your thoughts and view yourself differently. Your perspective, when you're allowed to view your world, your situation, your body image, whoever you may be differently. And so at 11, my parents were not religious, but they definitely made sure I went to church. And I remember one Sunday I accepted Christ into my heart. I remember the preacher saying, "You were fearfully and wonderfully made." And that's what stuck with me. That moment in time when he said, not just to me, but I'm sitting in the congregation, he said, "You were fearfully and wonderfully made." That stuck with me. And that's what I call a mindset shift because I no longer looked at myself as you're flawed, something's wrong with you. I started to, at that age, embrace who I was little by little. Again, I talked about confidence being it's a muscle you have to build on it, but I started to really realize, hey, I'm not flawed. I am fearfully, wonderfully made. And although, of course, I still had those feelings at times of insecurities, but I knew I started to plant that seed. So that's what I'm talking about. Mindset is so important to your success. And I'm going to share some tips with you and how you can create a positive mindset. How you can create a mindset to help you to shrug off no matter what you may be going through. And a lot of us, especially in these past couple of years, struggling, going through a pandemic, have a lot of things that we are working on or overcoming. And so this mindset tool I'm going to share with you in a few minutes, or maybe in about 10, 15 minutes, will be super helpful to helping you overcome any fears or to build your confidence, to strengthen your communication skills. So long story short, I went through that journey. I started to believe in myself and who God created me to be. And at 18, when a lot of my friends were going to work at, in retail or fast food, I was like, I'm gonna go work in legal because at this time I felt maybe my parents were like, you should be a lawyer. I didn't know if law was for me, but I wanted to find out. So I realized before investing thousands, maybe hundred, 100 grand, who knows, at that time into law school. And before that, you got to get an undergrad anyway. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start working with lawyers. And I was told, girl, who do you think you are? And that's one thing I want to note on today because a lot of reasons why we don't do what we want to do is because we're afraid of what people may think. I've done a survey after survey after survey with people I've coached, people that have come to my speaking events, social media, you name it. And a lot of times why people don't pursue their goals or pursue their dreams is because they're afraid of what other people may think. And I want to talk a little bit about that because that is one of the reasons why, like I said, a lot of us don't move forward, but you got to get rid of that. Once you're able to eliminate, hey, I don't care what people think. I care about what I think, what my family, my loved ones think, God thinks. When you change your perspective, again, mindset, it will change how you operate. It'll change the way you view your life, the way you view opportunities around you. Some things you may think may be out of reach. Hey, I can never achieve that. But one thing I do know for sure, we're all on this journey called life and we all want to do great things. I think all of us want to be super successful. But what does success mean to you? What does success mean to you? Now that's another slide. I'm jumping ahead, but long story short, I started working in legal as a paralegal at 18. I started to work with some really huge contracts, really big companies. Why? Confidence. I didn't know everything, but when I'd walk into an interview, I still like to wear my blazers. It's who I am. I'm not changing that. My sisters would always bug me. Why do you always wear blazers? It's my brand. It's a part of who I am. It's what I like. And so I would go into an interview and I'd be like, no, I don't know how to do this, but I can learn. And I was so convincing to the interviewee that I could learn that I would always get hired. And so that ability to say, hey, I don't know everything. I don't want to know everything. That's why we have a group of, I say human beings that we all have different skills, talents, and abilities. I don't know everything. And surely I'm sure you don't, but information is easily accessible now. But the key is confidence gives you the ability to go into that interview room and say, hey, I don't know this, but I can learn it. Obviously, there's some things that you need to be skilled in, have a profession, have a degree, or some certification in before you can obtain a job in that field. But for the most part, working communications, PR, that's been my realm, legal, before I ventured into communication and PR. I'd walk into the room and I'd be able to say, I don't know this, but I can learn it. And I was always the one who I would say on the winning side because I'd be like, we want her. Yes, you're hired. So anyway, I say this all not to be like anything about me, but to say confidence and the ability to communicate with confidence. It's more than your words. It's how you show up, your body language, but it sets the stage for where you're going to go. And it sets the stage for who you may be now and who you can become. We should always be evolving. You may be going through a hump right now. I had a huge fall in September of last year that really literally, oh, I don't know, threw me. It was like a curveball out of nowhere. Like I'm still in recovery. And so that's been a struggle for me because when you're on this mode, you're on this momentum and then you have to slow down. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But if I were to quit, then everything I've been working toward would be a waste of time. You know what I mean? So don't quit, keep going. Anyway, so now that you know a little bit about me, started in legal, I realized quickly, hey, you know what? I don't want to be a lawyer, but I do want to help people. I love people. I love sharing quotes. That was always my thing. putting out quotes on, chats at work. My desk would be covered with positive quotes. I was just always that optimistic person. Optimism. People would say to me, "Hey girl, why are you always so chipper?" I remember walking in to at one time I worked at a great firm and I still love it, Bennett Jones, and a lady at the reception said to me, "Why are you always so chipper, Natasha?" And I said, "Huh, why wouldn't I be? I woke up today. I woke up today. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I'm well. I have a job. I have people around who love me. I have more than enough to be chipper about." Again, mindset. So went back to school, realized I wanted to do communications. I studied in public relations with my focus because I knew the art of building relationships, and that's what PR is all about. Then started to work with a lot of large corporations, big energy firms in communication advisory roles. And I began my entrepreneurship journey, like I said, 2018, September officially. And here I am. I'm a transformation coach, I guess you'd call it. I'm a motivational, transformational speaker. I'm a confidence communications and public relations expert. I really don't like titles. At the end of the day, I am who I am. I'm Natasha, and I love people, and I want us all to achieve those goals and those dreams. And this is a part of mine, doing just this, communicating with you. So a little bit about, I feel like no more about me. I never really like talking about me, but my purpose, I'll say this because we're going to touch on purpose. It took me a long time to discover my purpose. I think I figured out my purpose in my late 20s, early 30s. I was solid on it by 31. I know I was born. I was born to inspire, motivate, and empower human beings all over the world really to believe in yourself, to achieve and to fulfill your God-given purpose, to gain confidence and achieve those big goals and dreams. And how do I know that? Because it gives me energy every time I have the ability to come up and speak or to share or to spread some positive messages or coach someone and say, "Hey, she came to me or he came to me with low confidence, or his business wasn't doing well, and look, now he's thriving, he's making great money, he's doing what he loves," or vice versa. I've coached men and women. I do coach men and women. That for me is success. Helping other people achieve success is success for me. And I do that through coaching, speaking, and consulting. So that's a big part of me. I love kids. I am a mom to a beautiful 8-year-old girl named Natalia. She is definitely my world. I obviously speak here. I'm speaking at a women's event. I have just recently got married, and I'm a lot more than I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm a Christian. I'm not religious though, but I am a Christian. I do believe in spirituality and God and Jesus and the power of love, and treating people good. I'm a wife. I'm a lot of things. I'm a philanthropist. I love working with charities who give back to the youth. I'm a big advocate for youth because why? They're our future. They are our future. I'm a part of a few volunteer boards, the Black Calgary Chambers. I've helped them with their strategic planning. I mentor the youth because I love, again, our youth. I'm also a United Way leader ambassador, and I recently just joined as a Women United leadership leader as the part of their leadership team. So I'm all about helping people. Anything I can share through my life experience that can help you achieve your goals and your dreams, business, personal, professional. That's why I'm here. Let's talk about purpose. I think this is the one where sometimes people get caught up on, like, Natasha, I don't really know what my purpose is. I don't know. And that's all right. I didn't know for a very long time. But you can and will find your purpose in Christ. I'll tell you that much. Because your creator. Go back to your creator to find out why you were born. Everybody, everything serves a purpose. So I love this slide. Purpose, I love definitions. The reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So my question to you is, do you know what your purpose is, and are you fulfilling it? Once you're sure about who you are as a human being, you will gain a better understanding of why you're here, and that actually helps you to build your confidence. If you know what you're good at, sometimes people say focus on what you're not good at. Focus on your weakness and build up your weaknesses. No, I disagree. Focus on your strengths. Focus on what you're good at, because that is what's going to fuel your passion to do great things. That's what's going to fuel you successfully monetarily. That's going to bring in more money because you're good at what you do. There's so many other people that are going to fill those gaps based on if you have your own business, or you work in a company, you need to just focus on what you're good at. But it all begins, I believe, with purpose. When you're walking your purpose, things change for the better. You become more intentional about who you spend your time with, what you spend your time doing. You feel more excited about waking up in the morning when you're knowing I'm going to a job or to a place where I love, where I can really share who I am unapologetically. So I ask you, wherever you may be, think about it. And if you don't know, that's okay. You don't know, you don't know. Pray about it. You will get the answer. But you'll learn a little bit more by what gives you energy, what draws you in, what pulls you in, what gives you the energy when you feel like you don't want to do anything more. For me, I know after I'm done at an event or be able to help someone or coach or volunteering with kids or just human beings in general, being able to share some of the things I've been through, that gives me some energy. What about you? And no, everybody's purposes can't be the same. There would be no existence if we all had the same skills. So think about, what do I do well? What do I love? And I want to share this story because I had a client, she's doing very well now. She came to me feeling like she first her first thing was, one, she didn't feel like she had made her parents proud. Two, she lived her life for her family, for her parents. She went and she got the degrees, multiple degrees. And then she got multiple certifications. And there was a time in her life when she was actually invited to be a part of a very prestigious school doing arts. She was very skilled in musicianship. And her parents said, "Hey, no, girl, you can't do that. You need to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer." And so she threw away that opportunity to go full on scholarship to one of the most prestigious schools because she didn't want to disappoint her parents. And so in her life, she kept wondering, why am I not happy? Why am I not fulfilled? I have a good job, but it's not what I want to do. And so when we start to work together, she's able to find some clarity around, I didn't even realize, Natasha, that I've been living my life for other people. How many of you out there can say you're living your life for someone else? And if you are, don't be ashamed, because many of us do it, especially coming from a cultural background. My parents are Jamaican. Oh, you need to be a lawyer, you need to be a doctor, you need to be an engineer. Like, those are the only options, lawyer or doctor. And that's sort of why I went down the legal route. And I realized, no, I don't like contracts. I don't want to be in a courtroom with litigation. I want to help people in a different way. I changed the direction at a later stage, what you call maybe a mature student. How many of you are feeling like you're living your life for somebody else? I want to encourage you to take a moment to think about, in my youth, and we're still young, but I'm talking about when you're a child, you're probably out just learning to ride your bike. What did I love doing? What did I dream about? And then somebody said, no, that you're not good enough to do that, or no, you weren't born to do that, or no, you need to study this. I want to bring you back to that place because that's where you need to begin. You want to be super successful, focus on what you're good at. And so, long story short, this girl, this beautiful woman, we had to unpack so many things. Her mindset, she didn't feel good enough. She had, like I said, the multiple degrees, the great home, not the good job, but she wasn't satisfied. And so at the end of it, well, I shouldn't say the end, the beginning of her real journey, she realized she really loved health and fitness and she wanted to start her own company. And I helped her along that process of really realizing what she was good at. And I'm telling you, she is so fulfilled now, doing what she loves. And no, it wasn't easy to tell her parents that I'm not going down the path that you considered I should be on for the rest of my life, because I'm now changing my trajectory at 40 something years old. I'm going in a whole new field. And was it scary? Yes, but she did it and she's doing it. So how many of you out there right now want to be doing something else, but you're not because you're afraid? You're afraid that something may go wrong. You're afraid of what people may think. I want to remind you, it's not about what other people think. What do you think? So purpose, super important. So you were born on purpose, for a purpose, because when you discover your purpose, your life has greater meaning. You become intentional. Like I said, clarity builds confidence. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? That's a tough question, depending on when you're asking that person, time of day, how you're feeling. I want to remind you that you don't have to know all the answers. I don't know all the answers. There's so many things that I'm still praying for, asking God for clarity on. And I think for me, one of my challenges is there's so many things that I really want to do, and you have to figure out, no, you're only one person. You can only do so much at a time. And that's why you need a team, building your team. But where do you want to focus your energy on? So it's like I have maybe now four main pillars. And I'm like, okay, this is the one that I have to focus on. This is my 2022 goal. This is it. 2023, I'll focus on that. So don't burden yourself down with all these things you need to do now. Think about what's going to help me to become more intentional and more aligned with who I am, with my purpose, my God given purpose, and move from there. So I can see some of you out there watching. If you have your notebook, which I hope you do, you're just checking in or, watching, take up your notebook and write this question down on your notepad and say, what is your purpose? What is my purpose? And then start to think about the things that you enjoy. And remember, I mentioned in the beginning, I used to say you find your purpose by things that give you energy. That is true, but you do find your purpose in Christ. I'm not a religious person because I believe religion kills. I'm a spiritual person, but you find your purpose in your creator. So think about what things you're good at, what you enjoy, what you love, and then put your energy there. So let's talk about beliefs, because this is key to helping you to boost your confidence, to be able to communicate with confidence. So let's talk a little bit about belief systems. When you're growing up, or even now, we're all this could be a whole other presentation, but in a nutshell, is your life? I'll ask you. That's one thing I miss about being in person, but we have the ability to communicate live, and it's a great tool. But think about your belief systems. What do you believe to be true about yourself? What do you believe to be true about yourself? Do you believe that you can achieve what you really want, that big goal? Maybe it's that career in the corner office. I don't know. Maybe it's the ability to start your own business, successful, thriving business. Maybe it's the family. You want a spouse, children. Maybe it's traveling more, owning property versus renting, being financially free, having more than enough money in the bank so that you can do more. Whatever it may be, do you believe that you can have what you really want? Clarity is critical to your success, because what clarity does, by knowing what you really want, it sets the stage. I want to achieve A, and maybe you want all of what I just said, but maybe you want all of that and more. Yes, you can have it. But do you believe you can have it? And you have to understand that things happen in seasons. Certain things take time. Where will you focus your energy on now? So belief system, let's look for a definition. What exactly is a belief? A belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. A belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. So I want you to apply this question to your life, to yourself, to maybe those stories you keep telling yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not handsome enough. I don't have enough money. People don't like me. Whatever it may be. What are some of the things that you've been telling yourself? What is the story you've been sharing in your mind? I mean, I want to do a seminar just on mindset, because one thing I've realized is your mind can debilitate you or it can empower you. When I think about the things, whatever you think about, you do have the ability to create. I remember coaching a client. She's a beautiful lady. She's, yes, Cleveland. I love that. But do you believe that? So give me an example of something you have stated that you believe to be true and that you've attracted it, you've obtained it, you've achieved it. I'd love to hear a testimony. So she used to believe in Murphy's Law. She's so super successful. She's a optometrist, beautiful house, like $1 million house, lovely husband. Like, he has this nice business, beautiful family, boy and girl. She's asked multiple clinics, but still struggling with the fact that she's good enough. And that's why I say this to everyone out there. You might think I'm crazy because I don't believe that money gives you happiness. Money buys you convenience. You need money. I don't think you can be truly happy if you're suffering and struggling. You can't find food to eat or a roof over your head. No. But there comes a point when I met and I know so many people who have so much money, monetary, and they're not happy because the belief system is that, hey, I'm still not good enough. I will only be good when I achieve this. And so I want to remind you that your belief system sets the stage for what you can achieve. What did you believe growing up? Did someone tell you were able to achieve great things? Did you have someone rooting for you in your corner saying, girl or guy, you're amazing. I believe in you. I have every confidence that you can achieve what you put your mind to. A belief is what's going to set you apart from what you achieve and what you don't. So, thinking about mindset, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because what you believe, I do believe you have the power to create. Sometimes people say Murphy's Law. I always thought every time this person cancels, and they always do. Well, why do you keep saying that? Or every time I mess up when I go to present, or why do you keep saying that? Or I'll never get out of, I'll never, graduating. And why would you keep saying that? Whatever you believe to be true will be your reality. And so I want to encourage you, for those of you thinking about, hey, wait a minute, I think that I want to achieve great things, but yet I didn't realize the negative self-talk. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So, question for you: what current beliefs do you hold? What current beliefs do you hold? Because again, if you believe you can achieve a certain outcome, I can't go back to school. It doesn't matter how old I am. And I don't even believe in old. I believe in, like, maturity, because old is just, we consider old as, when you get to a certain point in your life, but it's really about maturity. And I believe as you get older, you get wiser. So that's a blessing. Many people haven't even had the opportunity to live to see their 20s, unfortunately. Their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, their 80s. I'm going to live to be 129. Right? I'm telling myself that from now. I want to be healthy, in my good state of mind, and I know there's people who have lived beyond that in this day and age. So it's a reality. It can be true, right? So, question: what's stopping you or slowing you down from having what you really want? What's stopping you or slowing you down from having what you really want? Again, sometimes you might say, oh, it's my boss, or maybe it's the finances, or maybe it's my spouse, or maybe I don't have enough time. That's a big one with leaders. And I say you're a leader when you're leading your own ship, because you don't need a degree to be a leader. You don't need to have a leadership title to be a leader. You can become your own leader by setting your stage for leading your life, I say, with purpose, with confidence and clarity. So, question to you out there, and those who will watch, the playback: what's stopping you or slowing you down from having what you really want? Is it your health? Is it your finances? Is it the people around you? Is it your mindset? A lot of times it's your thoughts. I was listening to I was doing some research, and the stat was puzzling to me. They said, one, the majority of an individual human being's thought on average is negative. That is proven research. The majority of our thoughts tends to be negative. Why is that? Is it an environmental thing? I don't even know. Was it because of what we're watching or what we're seeing? But that is key. So you have to get to a point where you're thinking on a different level of, hey, wait a minute, my thoughts do dictate my reality, because if I tell myself I'm not good enough, I may feel like I'm not good enough. I may not want to get up today. I may not want to put on, my makeup, or you don't even need makeup, beautifully, but you know what I mean? Enhance yourself. And you may not want to put on some, certain clothing, because again, body language, confidence, we'll talk about that. But what are the thoughts you're telling yourself that's slowing you down from getting what you really want? Is it the thought of, I'm scared of what people may think? I remember when I made my first motivational video. At that time, I was working corporate. I was terrified. I was terrified. I was like, "Oh my gosh." I just knew there was a recession happening, as is right now, pretty much still, but not like, it was on a different level. People were committing suicide. A lot of men in Alberta were committing suicide. And for that, because they were doing that, I knew that if I could share a positive word, if I could say something that could help somebody from not ending their life, that I was doing a job well done. So I remember my first video that I made. I was nervous. I was nervous. I was nervous. And I didn't want anybody to, like, think I didn't do a good job or something, you know what I mean? And that was so important to me. And so I personally knew that if I could share something that would help somebody, I would be doing something great. And I did. I put the video out. I was so scared. I was nervous, but I put the video out, and I got so many comments and likes and views. But what was that about? Was that what it was really about? Or was that what it should really be about? No, it was like, if I could have one person watch that video and help them to remove them that thought of, I am good enough, then I knew I did something well. So What's really stopping you? Is it your mindset? Is it your thoughts? I want to remind you, your thoughts play a significant role in how you show up every day and how you communicate with confidence, how you achieve your goals or how you don't. So think about, what are you telling yourself lately? What are the thoughts that are playing in your head? Is it something that happened in your childhood that you're still holding on to? Now's the time to let it go. Now's the time to let it go. And I'm going to share with you some things you can do to let it go in this presentation. So, oops. So that's important, that you think about the things that are slowing you down and then you quickly find a solution to it. All right. So the most important part of what we're going to talk about today is, what is confidence? What is confidence, people? Let's look at the definition, because I love, obviously, definition, but if you had all the confidence, what would you do? If you had all the confidence, what would you do? So let's talk about confidence. Confidence is a feeling of self-assurance of one's abilities or qualities. Confidence, I say in the corner right there, you'll see, is critical to your success. Why? And I'm not talking about arrogance. Confidence is not arrogance. It's not saying I'm great at what I do and you're not, or I'm the best, or it's not boastful. Confidence is that knowing, that feeling that I feel good in my skin. I feel good about who I am. I feel good about who I'm becoming. It's that feeling of self assurance in your qualities and your abilities. And it's not something that you can essentially buy. You can't just pick up a box of confidence and you're good. Some of us wish we could do that, right? These quick fixes, they don't work, because if you don't deal with the underlying residual, or the things that have happened in your past or you've sort of buried away, you know what I'm talking about, those things, it's hard for you to move. It's hard for you to see beyond your past and to see where you are now and where you're going. So it's really a feeling of knowing who you are, loving who you are unapologetically. Confidence is a muscle. And once you're able to be more confident in who you are, your shoulders tend to come back, right? That body language, that posture says, hey, I'm good in the skin I'm in. I love the skin I'm in. That's super important. So, why do I say it's critical to your success? If you don't believe in who you are, and you hear this a lot, who's going to believe in you? If you don't believe in who you are, who is going to believe in you? So let's talk about how to boost your confidence. As we wrap up in the next 10 minutes or so, I want to focus on how to boost your confidence, because I get this question a lot. And if you're looking for this guide I'm going to share with you, it's on my website. Feel free to check it out at natashabrussell.com, and you will be able to download it for free. I also do offer a free coaching discovery chat session to talk about things you can personally do to boost your confidence. So let's talk about, how would you boost your confidence? I call this the NBR confidence booster. So number one, never compare. Ooh, I went ahead. See if you're watching. Never compare. So there is no one like you. How often do we compare ourselves to other people, to what other people have, or to what other people look like? That is doing yourself such a disservice. And I can say this because I still, to this day, of course, I know many of us struggle with certain things, and we think sometimes one's life is better than ours. But no one's life should be better than yours, in the sense that you own your life. You own your greatness within it. So don't compare yourself to those around you. You don't know what a lot of people are going through in itself. I want us to focus on who we are, who we're becoming. I wrote a post today, something about competition, who you're competing with. May it be yourself. As a leader, I want to be around people who are smarter than me, who can teach me things. It's important for you to circulate yourself with successful people who think successfully, who talk about goals and ideas, and not other things that are nonchalant or not essential to your daily living or to enhancing your skills, or adding happiness or joy to your life. Do you see where I'm going? So never compare. There is nobody else in this world like you. God created just you. Even if you have a twin, there's something genetically that is modified, that is different. So love you for who you are. Never compare. Rule number one. Rule number two, no negativity. No, talk to the hand. You remember that? The faces understand. So funny, right? How often do you find yourself saying again those stories, those negative stories? You know, Maybe something was in your childhood or something that happened recently. Maybe you feel like a failure, for whatever reason it may be. This is key mindset, no negativity. That means you learn to remove negative people. Yes, I've had to do that too. People who are in your circle who are like, they never have anything good to say. And then you find people who are just, they always are complaining. The naysayers, they always think, oh, that's not possible. Those are the things, those are the environment you want to remove yourself from. I have a very small knit circle. I love it that way. I encourage you to have a circle of friends, of family, who you don't share everything. You share, if you're sharing your goals and your dreams, your deepest, desires, you share with people that you can definitely trust. Because sometimes your influences, your environment, which they say socialization, I remember studying that in sociology, socialization, how you're socialized into society makes a difference. So who are you spending your time with? Your environmental influences. What are you watching? What are you listening to? It's important for you to feed yourself positive thoughts. And I'm going to share with you how to do that when you're feeling like, Natasha, you're making it sound so easy. It's not. I do believe it takes about 90 days. Some people say 21 days to create a new habit. I say it's about 90 days to, yes, create the new habit and actually create a lifestyle that you stick with it. So work on that. So one of my favorite quotes, and I share this at the end of all my coaching sessions with my clients, I say this. I say this for myself too. Every day I'm becoming more and more of who I want to be. I am me. Every day I'm becoming more and more of who I want to be. I am me. So important that you acknowledge who you are, and where you're going. And so start with affirmations. Now, I want to say one thing about affirmations. A lot of times I hear, I've bought in this book full of affirmations, and it's not working. I read it every day and I haven't seen a change. And the truth is that affirmations don't work unless you actually believe what you're saying. Affirmations don't work unless you truly believe what you're saying. So start with things you know to be true about yourself. I would say start with maybe you love your personality. Maybe you know that you're a very kind person, or you're a great cook, or you're really good with children, or really good with pets, or you're a great spouse, or whatever. Start with I am statements. There's the power of I am. I am independent. I am successful. I'm creative. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a leader. I'm a provider. Whatever it may be. And you start to build on it. Start with that, and you will see your confidence start to gradually build. Again, remember we talked about confidence being a muscle, and that you have to continually build on. So start with things you believe to be true, that mindset shifting, and list them in your notebook. And every morning when you wake up, go in the mirror. I have so many clients that are like, Natasha, this feels so weird. I don't want to do it. But now I'm getting to the fact that I'm actually doing it. I'm starting to feel and experience a change, the way I dress, the way I walk, the way I talk. So start with the things you believe to be true and then rehearse it in the mirror. It may sound funny, but it works. And it's just between you. This is your mind talk. This is your positive self talk that you do every morning. And you know what happens? It continues. If you continue, it becomes a habit. And everything we do is a habit. We are habitual creatures. We are creatures of habit. So build this habit in your lifestyle. Every day, start with 3 positive affirmations that you believe to be true and continually add on them as you're able to add on more, and you will be. Trust me. So, one big thing, gratitude. There's always something to be grateful for. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. I can express to you how important it is for you to be grateful for what you have in your life. Every night, what me and my daughter, my husband do, and I love this, is we read a Bible scripture and then we talk about what it means to us. But then we add on gratitude. What are you grateful for today, Natalia? And we'll always share something that we didn't share the day before. And what does that do? We share it out loud, but we were thinking we should get a gratitude jar. But what does that do? It helps you to focus on the positive things in your life. How many times life can be very, how should I say it? There's so many things happening around you that can impact you positively, but also negatively. And so one way we focus on staying positive is by great gratitude. There's always something to be grateful for. So ask yourself when you wake up, what am I grateful for? Like one thing I've created a habit, I've been doing this for, I'd say probably the past 10 years of my life that I can remember. Every morning when I wake up, I say, thank you, God, for waking me up in my right sound mind. That's my first moment of gratitude. Thank you. I woke up because the fact that I woke up means that there's an opportunity to go again. There's life, there's hope. Doesn't matter what I may have. I don't believe in failure unless you give up, but no matter what I may have um not accomplished yesterday, or I'm not feeling good about where I'm at, or whatever it may be, I wake up with thank you, God, I'm alive, because that means I have the ability to go again. So it's not about who, when they say it's not about where you end up, because it's not. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And again, you are the leader of your ship in that regard, right? You get to determine whether or not you choose to use your day to do things to move you forward, or if you choose to use your day to sit in bed and watch Netflix for the whole day and not do anything about your goals and your dreams. Like I personally tried that one time just to stay in bed all day and watch Netflix. And I felt like crap, honestly. I'm like, I couldn't do this every day. I need to get up. I need to move. I'm not saying don't watch your shows. You got to have times where you break it up. Watch your hour or two or whatever it may be, but you spend 8 hours a day. It should be on how do I move my goals forward? How do I become a better leader, a better entrepreneur, a better parent, a better wife, a better colleague, coworker, whatever it may be? How do I become better? Not to compare anybody else, but at being who I am. Because you are amazing just the way you are. But do you believe it? So gratitude. So this is a big thing right here. We're coming to the end of my presentation. And I really thank all of you for who've been joining in, popping in, sharing your little comments. But this is the key right here. It's the retraining your mind. And I call it as it's an anchor. So as a coach, I am an internationally certified health and life coach as well. Um, this is something I was taught, and it helped me. It helped me to really reframe how I looked at my life. When I started my entrepreneurial journey, like when I quit my full-time corporate job that was so cozy and nice and the money was there and I was a single mom, but I was just like, oh, there's so much more I should be doing. I felt stifled. I felt like I was stagnant. I got to a point in that 4 years, it was great. I did some amazing things. And I just knew I wanted to do something more, but I was stuck. And so when I left, I started to freak out. What did I do, girl? What did you do? You have mortgages, not one but two to pay. You're a single mom, you have bills, you have a lifestyle to maintain. What did you do? Why did you walk away from something so cozy, so comfortable? And I think that was my first moment of really living for me. And I'm so excited and so proud of where I've come these past few years. I don't want to talk about all the things I've done, but I've definitely made an impact and I'm just starting. I've really been able to help a lot of people build their confidence to love themselves, to go and start their business, their law firms, their modeling career, their artistry, like, and to see them shine and doing great things. Like that for me, again, is success. Helping other people achieve their goals, for me, that means I'm doing my part. And that for me is I'm successful. You get to a point in your life where you're like, and I've made a video about this, I'm gonna share it, but yes, it's so important to have all the material things. The material things don't even really matter. Yes, they matter. Of course, I like nice things, but really what matters for me is impact. If I can stop somebody from not committing suicide, somebody to hold on, to start again, to not give up, for me, that is the most rewarding. That can't compare to getting $1 million in the bank. To save a life or to get $1 million, I will save a life. I will choose saving a life every day. That's just who I am. So it's important to retrain your mind. So how do you do that? An anchor. So in a nutshell, again, this is going to take a habit. It's a habit. You can't just say, I'm going to do this once and I'll be good, Natasha. No, it's not going to work like that. You have to commit. Welcome, India. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Loving that you're joining me today. So welcome to you, Balmont. I haven't been to India yet. I do have some connections there, and I'm probably going to visit one day for sure. So thanks for the greetings. Now, just thinking back to a time where, like I said, I was struggling. I was like, I quit my job. What was I doing? I had a plan. Of course, had money in the bank. I had a strategy, but I lost the comfort zone. The net was gone. And I was really relying on God. I kept praying every day, God, is this what you want? And I felt like, yes, now's the time. Don't let fear hold you back. Walk in faith. Walk in faith. Walk in faith. But it came a time I had to really reshape my thoughts because I was starting to struggle. Like, what did I do, girl? What did you do? Was that smart? And as I started to reshift my thoughts, retrain my mind. So what I did, every time a negative thought came in, I would say something positive. So, like I said, I will not walk in fear. I will walk in faith. God did not give me a power. God did not give me a mind. God did not give me a mind of fear, but He gave me a mind of faith. I would just say things to myself, things to remind myself. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm powerful. I'm fearfully, wonderfully made. Every time a negative thought came in my mind, like, girl, you can't do this, or this event's not going to go well, or you're not capable of doing what you think you want to do. These negative thoughts would come and attack my mind. I had to quickly say, hey, no, reject it. And so the whole point of that long story is to say, whenever you have a negative thought coming in, quickly use an anchor. It could be your favorite quote, it could be your favorite song, it could be even a favorite smell. So I like um, those sage wellness drops into your humidifier. Whatever it may be that calms and relaxes you. As soon as you have that negative thought, whatever it may be, you quickly interrupt it. For God did not give you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And you keep moving. And you keep doing that over and over and over and over again until you get to a point where you'll realize you'll have less and less negative thoughts. So this is key in building your confidence and helping your ability to communicate with confidence. I have this clip here because who knew, like I said, growing up, I was so shy. I remember being in school, going back as a mature student at MRU, and I would have to go and speak. And at this time, I had worked in law firms. I was a paralegal. I was doing great work, type desk work, meeting people. But when I had to go and speak, I would be nervous. I couldn't get a word out. And so every time we had a presentation or a group presentation, I didn't do good at all. I'd have my cue cards, I'd read my cue cards quickly, and then I'd be off. Well, what changed was when I had my professor. I remember him, Jeremy. He said, everybody has the opportunity to speak on a topic that's dear to their heart, that they're passionate about. And that was the first time I spoke with confidence. Believe it or not, that's the first time. Yes, I'd go into interview rooms and speak in comments with somebody else. It's different. But to get in front of a stage of hundreds of people in your classroom, in your cohort, and to present and all eyes are on you, it's a different feeling. It's a different kind of feeling. And so when he gave us the opportunity to present on a topic that was of interest, that what we were passionate about, wow, I soared. Why? I remember, I'll never forget, I spoke about child poverty. Every 30 seconds, a child dies from extreme poverty. I could not understand, and the stat today hasn't really improved much either, how a child could die every 30 seconds from extreme poverty when there's so many resources, so much food that goes to waste. I couldn't fathom how that was possible. And so I presented on that. And I remember my classmates, they were like, "Oh my gosh, Natasha, that was phenomenal. Like, what did you do? How did you do that, girl?" I had no cue cards. Like, I had my little bullet points, of course, but I have a bullet point and I built to speak on that point. And so, my tip to you, if you're saying, "Hey, I want to speak, I want to get up in front of stages, I want to become a stronger, more confident speaker, I want to be able to present in my work settings or even via Zoom meeting or whatever it may be, I want to be able to speak in public, but I get nervous. Here I'm on TV. I've had the ability to do radio, print, television interviews, and I did this one on behalf for the nonprofit for the Kids Help Phone because I volunteer there every year. I'm their communications lead. I love kids, as I mentioned, they are our future, and so the Kids Help Phone is one of my partnerships that I strongly believe in. But could I have done that if I didn't have the ability to communicate with confidence? No, I couldn't. I could not have done that. So the thing that I want to share with you, if you want to have the ability to speak more with confidence in big public settings, start with things you love. Start with things you're passionate about. Start with topics that you actually care about. If you do this, I can guarantee you that you'll do 10 times as better as you would if you talked about something that you don't care about, something that you're just presenting on to present on. Start with things that you enjoy and you will see success. So wow, success. Honestly, I didn't know that was going to happen because believe it or not, I do not script any of my presentations. I have my key points and I know I'm going to talk about and I share in whatever stories come up or however I may be led. I go with that. So here we are on success. The last slide. Success. What does success mean to you? What does success mean to you? I say this because success means different things to different people. Success means different things to different people. When you define success for yourself, nobody can tell you if you're successful or not. Success to some may be I want to have the big house, the family, the cars, a lot of money in the bank. Success to one other person may be like, you know what, I just want to own a one home, not multiple. I want to have my own family. I want to have a comfortable living. I want to be able to give back. I want to be able to volunteer. I want to help others. Success means different things to different people. You have to define success for yourself. Once you define success for yourself, that's like a tongue twister. Once you define success for your once you define success for yourself, you will understand that you are capable of achieving it, for one, because you're clear about what you do want, and two, it's for you and not for others. Remember that story about the girl who was trying to please her family and not herself, and she grew up being very unhappy and spent the thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in education and careers that she didn't want to do, and in her mid 40s turned around and finally started to live her life for herself. There's many, many stories like that. Thank you. Gratitude for you too. All the way from India. Yes, thank you. So it's so important for you to define success for yourself, not your parents. Don't let them define it for you. Don't let your spouse, don't let your partner, don't let your friends, don't let society tell you what success is. You define success for yourself. You be the leader who says, hey, I love this and I want to do more of this. And this is how I'm going to measure success. And for me, I definitely have so much more I need to do and want to do and will do, because the more people I can help and transform their lives for the better, for the best of their ability. Hello, Morocco. I should go to Morocco. That sounds so lovely. How are you doing? Oh, you're so welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying the presentation. So once you're able to define success yourself, you'll realize that you have minimized a lot of the pressure that society has placed on you, potentially your family, your friends, because now you're super clear about what I want. And that's why my motto in life is lead with purpose, confidence, and clarity. So once you know who you are, your purpose, why you exist, why you were born, your God-given purpose, what I call it, and you're able to build your confidence, knowing again, confidence is a muscle. You build on it by loving you for who you are. You build on it by doing the things that scare you, making that presentation, going to ask for that promotion, or going into an interview room and, that question, what's your salary expectations? Putting it up by 20K, knowing your value. There's so many things that you should be doing, but you probably don't because you're afraid. You're fearful of what other people may think. Now's the time to get rid of what other people may think. Now's the time to think, hey, if God forbid something were to happen to me tomorrow, would I be happy with the life I'm living? God forbid. Would you be happy? I hope that you are. And I want to remind you, if you're not, it's not too late to start. Every day, we hear this. Every day is an opportunity to start something new, but why don't we? We become complacent, we become stagnant. Technology, things around us make it easy for us to become complacent, to become stagnant. That is where you talk about the 3%, the 3% who make that difference, who become super successful. Because why? They choose to put down Netflix and pick up a book. They choose to put down Netflix and maybe watch a documentary on Netflix. I'm not knocking Netflix. I believe there's a good moderation, a good balance. They choose to say, you know what, I'm going to start writing that book today. Or you know what, I'm going to start that business plan. Or I'm going to go really spend some time volunteering. Or I'm going to really spend some time getting to know myself. That in itself can be done any moment in time, but you decide when you start. So I want you to just remind you to believe in yourself. Be you. That's the key message. When you think about confidence and communications, it's really about, again, I accept myself for who I am. I love myself for my flaws potentially, because my flaws are what makes me unique. I'm able to walk in a room and feel good in my skin. I'm able to go into an interview or to start that job or to apply for that job that I don't even apply for, that I'm not even qualified for. I've done that several times starting my career out in my early 20s. I'd apply for a job, like I said, that I had no business applying for, but did I get it? Yes. Why? Because I could walk into the room and I could share with the interviewer. I may not have all the qualifications, but I can learn. I can learn it. and the ability to communicate with confidence will help you. I'm saying this with the utmost assurance. The ability to communicate with confidence will help you to achieve the majority, many of your goals. How do you walk into a room? Are you selling a pitch? What are you doing? But it starts with you. It starts with believing in yourself, loving yourself for who you are. So I like to leave with this: be confident, leaders. And yes, you're a leader because you lead with purpose, confidence, and clarity. You don't have to have a specific title. You're a leader because you were born a leader, but you have to own that, right? So be confident in who you are and in who God created you to be. Be fearless enough to pursue what sets your soul on fire. Be bold enough to own your greatness because, yes, you are great, but do you believe it? But more importantly, leaders, be you. Be you. The world does not need any more copycats or imitators. Find what you're good at, focus on that, be your unique self. I call that your USP, your unique selling proposition. Be who you are unapologetically, because that's what's going to allow you to stand out from the crowd. All right. So I'm excited. I will be hosting I've made a goal to host a live at least once a month. Now next month I am going to be hosting the Rise Up. If you remember the Rise Up Leadership Conference that happened in December, it's going to be our Q1 Connect. So that's coming up. Stay tuned for more information on that. I will probably be hosting that. Most likely it's going to be via Zoom. Secondly, I am getting ready to host my Communicate with Confidence group coaching workshop. That's going to begin April 6th. It's only for $297. I should show you a slide. Again, thanks for watching, everybody from all over. I see the US, I see Canada, India, Morocco. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I'm going to show you the training program is coming out. So stay tuned for that. And again, thank you for joining me today. Know who you are. The very best. Trust and believe, leaders. The very best is yet to come. All right. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you on the other side. Bye.